Welcome back to Apex Sci-Fi. In the future of space combat, the hull is sacred. It is the skin of the ship. Keeps the air in and the vacuum out. Most civilizations protect their hulls with layers of impenetrable energy shields. They fight comfortable, long-range duels where lasers splash harmlessly against force fields. But humans have a history of breaking into places we aren't welcome. We call it breaking and entering. And in space, if you can't blast through the front door, you climb onto the roof and cut a hole in it. Today's story is about the Vexian Empire, a race that believed they were invincible because no weapon could pierce their shields. They forgot that shields only stop fast-moving energy. They don't stop a slow-moving human with a magnetic boot and a diamond-tipped saw. They call us the Void Rats. We call ourselves breachers. If you prefer a shotgun to a laser beam, smash that like button. And if you want to see what happens when the enemy knocks on the inside of your ship, subscribe and ring the bell. Breach charges set. 3, 2, 1. High Captain Xyler of the Vexian hierarchy relaxed in his command chair. The bridge of the Star of Conquest was a sanctuary of silence and soft blue light. The ship was a Fortress-class carrier, protected by a phase-shift shield that could withstand the heat of a supernova. Status of the human vessels? Xyler asked, idly examining his claws. They are fleeing, High Captain, the tactical officer reported. 3 small transports. They are weaving through the asteroid field. Their weapons are impotent against us. Xyler chuckled. Let them run. We will hunt them down at our leisure. Their kinetic slugs bounce off our phase shields like rain off a roof. They are primitive. They do not understand the physics of energy warfare. The Vexian ship glided through the asteroids, ignoring the rocks that occasionally tapped against its shields. To Xyler, the universe was a safe place. He was untouchable. Then a sound echoed through the bridge. Thud. Was dull. Heavy. Physical. Xyler frowned. Report. Did we hit an asteroid? Negative, Captain, the sensor officer said, confused. Shields are holding. No impact registered on the energy grid. Thud. Clang. It happened again. Louder. And it wasn't coming from the sides of the ship. It was coming from above. From the ceiling of the bridge. Is there something on the hull? Xyler asked, a chill running down his spine. Scans are negative, the officer repeated. The shields blur our internal sensors. We are blind to anything directly on the skin of the ship. Xyler stood up. He looked at the pristine white metal of the ceiling. Zzzzzzzzz. A new sound. A harsh, grinding mechanical whine. It sounded like a dentist's drill amplified 1,000 times. What is that? Xyler demanded. Is the hull stress fracturing? Vibration detected, the engineer shouted. Captain, it is localized. Directly above Command Station Alpha. Something is cutting. Xyler watched in horror as a spot on the ceiling began to glow. First dull red. Then bright orange. Then blinding white. Molten metal began to drip onto the command console, sizzling as it hit the delicate glass interface. Intruders! Xyler screamed. Security detail to the bridge. We are being boarded. Impossible, the tactical officer argued. The shields are up. How did they get through? They didn't go through. Xyler realized. They walked through the shield. The Vexian shields were designed to stop high-velocity impacts. Lasers, missiles, railguns. They allowed slow-moving objects like maintenance drones or dust to pass through to save energy. The humans had exploited this feature. They had launched tick pods, tiny silent boarding crafts that latched onto the hull like parasites. And now the humans were outside in the vacuum walking on the roof with magnetic boots. Crash. The circular section of the ceiling fell inward. The air in the bridge screamed as it rushed out into the vacuum. The emergency force fields kicked in late, sealing the hole with a shimmering blue curtain, but the damage was done. Through the hole, figures dropped. They didn't look like soldiers. They looked like walking tanks. Heavy, bulky, industrial EVA suits covered in scratches and grease. They hit the floor with a heavy clank of magnetic locks engaging. There were 4 of them. They held weapons that looked barbaric. Not elegant plasma lances. They held automatic shotguns. Large-bore, gas-operated, drum-fed projectile throwers designed for close-quarters brutality. Freeze! The lead human shouted. His voice was amplified by external speakers, booming and distorted. The Vexian security guards raised their energy staves. Fire! Xyler ordered. The Vexian weapons fired beams of cohesive light. The beams hit the human armor. The armor was coated in ablative ceramic. The lasers burned the paint, leaving black scorch marks, but they didn't penetrate. The humans didn't even flinch. "My turn," the lead human grunted. Boom boom boom. The shotgun roared. In the confined space of the bridge, the sound was deafening. The Vexians wore impact armor, flexible mesh designed to disperse heat. It was excellent against lasers. Against a cloud of lead pellets traveling at supersonic speeds? It was tissue paper. The lead Vexian guard was lifted off his feet and thrown backward into the tactical console. "Kinetic weapons," the tactical officer shrieked. "They are using solid slugs. Take cover." It was a massacre. The humans moved with methodical, terrifying efficiency. They didn't run. They stomped. Clank, clank, clank. Every step was anchored by magnets. They were immovable objects. Xyler drew his ceremonial pistol. He aimed at the leader's visor. He fired. The bolt hit the gold-coated glass faceplate. It left a burn mark, obscuring the human's vision. The human stopped. He reached up with a gloved hand and wiped the soot away like wiping dirt off a windshield. Then he looked at Xyler. The human raised a hand. He made a gesture, a fist with the middle finger extended. Xyler's translator couldn't decipher it, but the intent was clear. "Breach the door," the human ordered his squad. One of the soldiers turned to the heavy blast door that led to the rest of the ship. He didn't hack the keypad. He didn't look for a code. He ignited a thermal lance, a mining tool used to cut diamonds. A jet of blue flame, hotter than the surface of a star, erupted from the nozzle. He jammed it into the door mechanism. Metal liquefied. The door groaned and melted into slag. "Knock knock," the soldier laughed. Xyler backed away, cowering behind his throne. "Why?" Xyler whispered. "Why do you not fight with ships? Why do you come here face to face?" The human leader walked up to him. He loomed over the alien captain. The human smelled of burnt ozone and hydraulic fluid. "Because," the human's voice growled through the speaker. "Ships are expensive. Bullets are cheap." The human grabbed Xyler by his ornate collar. "And we wanted your ship. Thanks for keeping the engines running for us." The Star of Conquest fell in 20 minutes. The humans didn't destroy it. They infested it. They cut through the bulkheads, bypassed the choke points, and vented the atmosphere in sectors where the enemy resisted. They fought like rats in the walls. Vicious, dirty, and unstoppable. When the Vexian reinforcements finally arrived, they found their flagship drifting. They hailed it. "Star of Conquest report. Status of the intruders?" A new face appeared on the screen. It was the human leader. He had taken off his helmet. He was smoking a cigar, his feet resting on Xyler's command console. Behind him, human technicians were already repainting the walls, covering the elegant Vexian glyphs with graffiti and hazard stripes. "This is the UNS Yoink," the human said, grinning. "Formerly known as the Star of Conquest. We're under new management." You stole a dreadnought?" the Vexian admiral stammered. "That is piracy. That is a war crime." "It's only a crime if you get caught," the human said. "And frankly, your security systems suck. Next time, invest in a thicker roof." The transmission cut. The newly christened UNS Yoink spun up its drives. But instead of the elegant blue Vexian ion trail, the engine sputtered and roared with a dirty, overclocked red flame. The humans had already modified the reactor to run hotter, faster, and louder. The stolen ship warped away, leaving the Vexian fleet stunned. The Vexian hierarchy changed their ship designs after that. They stopped building energy shields that ignored slow objects. They started building physical armor. They started putting sensors on their hulls. And most importantly, they started locking their roofs. Because they learned the hard way, you can have the most advanced technology in the universe. You can have shields that stop nukes. But if you ignore the guy with a drill and a bad attitude, he's going to steal your house while you're still in it. This has been Apex Sci-Fi. We often think of space battles as distant and impersonal. But sometimes war gets personal. Sometimes it gets right in your face. If you would rather be a space pirate than a space admiral, smash that like button. Comment below, what creates more fear? A laser beam or the sound of a saw cutting through your ceiling? Subscribe. And keep your doors locked. Breach complete.